surf 10,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean. "12,000 feet over San Diego's breaking surf. A new breed of California risk-takers is hanging 10 on waves of air. Troy Hartman and Joe Jennings make sky surfing look easy. But what appears to be graceful floating is a high-speed plummet that leaves little margin for error."
Sky surfing is incredible in its own element. It is a totally different sport from skydiving. It is a totally different sport from surfing. There's no way to compare any of them.
Sky surfing is a competitive two-person sport, judged both on Troy's performance and Joe's free-fall camera work.
When you come out of the plane with the sky surfer, things begin to immediately move around the sky. And as a camera flyer, the more in tune you are with the sky surfer, the better you'll be able to stay with that person. Troy and I generally jump from about 12,500 feet. That's a little over, I think, 2 miles up in the sky. So that's about 10,000 feet of free fall, and that usually amounts to about a minute. That free fall time is pretty much what we consider our working time.
You're falling at 120 up to 200 miles per hour, and when that board is deflecting air at such a speed, you can create moves that are just amazing to watch, and the sensation is unbelievable too. If you're stretched out spinning and you're creating all that speed, and what happens is all the blood's being pushed to your head, and it can get so dramatic and so powerful that it'll literally blow the blood vessels out in my eyes.
To capture on film the risks Troy takes, his cameraman Joe must take his own.
As a camera flyer, it's your responsibility to aggressively go after the action. It's also your responsibility to not run over the sky surfer. And if you blow it and come in and hit him, if you hit him in the wrong place, it could be really ugly.
The dramatic moves of the sky surfer work in tandem with the subtle maneuvers of the cameraman.
When Troy is moving all over the sky, Joe is able to pan his body with little teeny finger moves and foot moves so that the camera moves smoothly and steadily as he's falling at 150 miles an hour. I watched a lot of videotape shot by freefall cameramen, and the footage that Joe Jennings had done was the best I'd seen. And when I said, okay, I want you to wear a giant IMAX-style camera on your chest and to freefall and frame Troy Hartman perfectly in the sweet spot of the frame, he said, well, I think I can do that.
Accustomed to smaller helmet-mounted cameras, Joe is prepared to reinvent his style to accommodate the bulky IMAX equipment and its added weight. Later, watching the images he shot projected on an 80-foot-tall IMAX screen gave Joe an even greater love for his sport.
When I stop and think about how lucky I am to be doing what I really love to do and what I feel passionate about, and I think it's that passion that I've been blessed with that has driven me to push cinematography and skydiving to new levels.
Like Joe, Troy believes the risk they take is a fair price to pay for the reward.
I'm always balancing what I get out of the sport versus what I could lose from being in the sport. I've not yet come to a point where I feel like I need to give it up for anything else. Once you're on top of that board, boom, everything else goes out the window because it's a whole different sport, and it's a rush.
Sky surfers have one safety precaution.